something, what would I say? I would say, oh, honey, don't worry about that. It'll be okay. What do I say to myself when I think I've made a mistake is horrendous. You know, I was beating myself up, and that's when I learned your gentleness. Okay, be as gentle with yourself as you are with people that you care about. So, hence, I had to learn to be my own best friend, and that's what I encourage others to do.
Well, that's a wonderful, wonderful practice, because if we really are our own best friend, and if we really, really do love ourselves, in spite of what we see in ourselves that others may not even see because they're so deeply buried in there, then if we can accept all that, we really can. We can accept others more unconditionally. And that also brings me back to how I love the unconditional love that God and Mother Mary for me has, and through the Zen I learned the acceptance of that. The acceptance keeps coming up. You can do that, but that can really help let go of judgments, the judgments you might have of yourself, the judgments you might have of others. I was raised with a lot of judgments because I was raised in Beverly Hills, and they judge you for the way you look, the way you dress, the way you act. You know, it was what kind of car. You know, I mean, so I've constantly had to let go of judgments as well. You know, from even seeing someone who's laying on the ground in front of a store that someone hasn't bathed or washed and wants some money, and you know they're going to drink. You know, it's so easy to judge them. You know. But
it is, and that's. No, I was saying it is easy to do that, you know. And the thing is, one of the things about judgments of ourselves, you know, obviously it's a whole subject about projections. You know, it's how we feel about ourselves. But forgiveness is a huge aspect of authentic living, and forgiveness of ourselves more than anything, because of those judgments we have about ourselves, which translates into how we judge other people. It's huge and not always easy. You know, I like to tell the story of when I first started taking classes in metaphysics, how we went through this one process in a chapter on forgiveness. And so we had to write down three things. Oh, no, we had to write down some people we think we needed to forgive. And I thought, oh, okay, this is easy. I came up with 3 names, and and then, of course, as time wore on, and I thought, oh, my goodness, forgiveness for me was like an everyday occurrence, because the more you practice metaphysics, the more stuff comes up for us to deal with. And so things that we may not even remember, but see, I believe we're never given more than we can handle. So these things will come up, and we need to look at it if we want to move forward, because these are all blocks to our authentic self, to our authentic love. And so that's really an interesting subject. And again, that's a whole, I mean, some of the stuff we talk about, that's why I have my study group. They're lessons in and of themselves: forgiveness, love, so on and so on.
Your study group is once a week?
I have a study group once a month in Laughlin, Nevada, and I'm beginning a new one in California in the East San Gabriel Valley beginning in April. And so, because I travel back and forth, you know, so that's why I have it once a month. So now I'll be having it twice a month, but in 2 different places. So we're really excited about that.
Wonderful.
It's gotten, yes, I'm really happy about doing that. And it's interesting when you're doing something like this and the word gets out, the people, my friends and other people in California were saying, well, why don't you have something here? You know, so, you know, prayers are always answered. Pardon?
Well, just for others listening that are thinking, gosh, I'd like to have a study group, how do you start something like that? Do you just start it with your friends, or do you put flyers out, or how do you actually formulate when you're going to do a study group, how long it's going to be, and how do you reach people about it?
Well, I was very blessed to this gentleman who lives here in Laughlin. I'm in Laughlin right now, who contacted a church in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, where I speak regularly, and he was looking for a spiritual leader in the Laughlin area to do a group. And so the person in charge over there contacted me, and would you get a hold of this person? So I did. And what was interesting is he and I have known each other for years. We were in classes together in California years ago. So, which was really, it's a beautiful story of what our intentions, because that was my intention to start something here at some point. So what he did is to start a meetup group. There's a meetup group online that you can, create. And so that puts the word out. And, of course, he puts flyers out, and there are people from the church here locally that I speak at also on a regular basis, that the word just gets out. People come. I mean, there was one lady that was there who saw me speak at doing a memorial service for someone and has wanted me to speak closer to where she lives. So that's how it begins. And also Facebook. You know, you create a site on Facebook or LinkedIn. I mean, we have social media that can help that tremendously, and things like that.
So, is your study group in person, in an office or a church, or is it online?
It's in person. It's in person. We have a clubhouse that we have it at here in Laughlin, and one of my clients offered her home in California. She has a big family room that she, uses for big events, and she says, why don't you have this study group here? Because she's been bugging me for a long time, God bless her. And and wherever, you can rent space, maybe at church or anywhere you want to have it. And actually you could have one, I'm sure, online, and maybe that'll be something that I'll do in the future, because I have thought about some things that I would like to do online.
I'd like to explore that with you if you do that, because I'd love to see that. There's so many ways to explore this. This is, with these radio shows, this is just one part of it, of course, and I've even thought of doing metaphysical insights on Google Hangouts. I think you did one once, and I still am learning about those Google Hangouts, but that would be an interesting way to do that as well. I know you're going to be going to the graduation at the convention this year, which is very exciting. What brought you to want to do a second? Now, you say you'd already were a minister, and it's so beautiful to hear you talking in Lake Havasu and where you are. I mean, I applaud you, because that's just a beautiful step to take that step and help people. And obviously it's brought you the connections that you can now also do the authentic living groups. But you already were a minister, and you had a thesis you put in. What drew you to do a second one?
Well, it was an interesting process. I did one in metaphysical science, and then the theocentric psychology came up, which was a relatively new program, I guess, or a doctorate. And it just resonated with me, because it was right in alignment with what I was doing in my spiritual counseling and getting to know people at their core as much as you can, but mostly it was about getting to know myself more. And so, because we really are, when we're spiritual counselors, we're dealing with the level, the human level, the ego level, and the psyche. And so I decided that is something that I wanted to go deeper in, and so that's why I chose it.
I really keep hearing all these beautiful developing. You blossom so beautifully as a soul. When you found this, it just seems like you went from level to level to new discoveries, to ways to share it, to more discoveries and ways to share it. And I think it sounds to me like there's this beautiful self-discovery, and as you do it, though, you do not hesitate to go out and share with people what you're learning and how you can help them.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Cindy. I just love this so much. Metaphysics has I don't know any other way to live anymore. Once you tap into that connection that we can have, our spirituality, it's amazing how it has changed my life. I mean, I can't even, it's night and day. I mean, I'm not saying I have it all figured out, because I don't, but I keep looking, and not even looking. I just keep allowing myself to grow and to do what I feel called to do.
Well, how do other people listening contact you? Is it best through Facebook, or what's the best way that people can contact you if they want spiritual counseling, if they want conversations, if they want to learn more about what you're doing?
Well, obviously you can look for me on Facebook, Regina J. Dekker, and I also have an Authentic Living page on there and an Authentic Living study group on there, and I'm also on LinkedIn, and incidentally, I also have a blog that you can connect the link on Facebook, and because I also write blogs, different subjects on authentic living, or you can contact me through email, authenticliving@roadrunner.com.
And I should mention, if you're looking up Regina on Facebook, Regina's last name is spelled Dekker. That's Dr. Regina Dekker. And on Facebook, it's under Regina or Dr. Regina Dekker?
It's under Regina J. Dekker.
Regina Dekker. And the Authentic Living site on Facebook?
Yes.
I'm sorry, the Authentic Living site, if they want to find you on Authentic Living, is just Authentic Living, or is it Regina Dekker Authentic Living?
It's simply Authentic Living.
Well, good
and
for
you'll
you.
See a picture of me. So.
Well, you're a beautiful person inside and out, and you're really someone I respect. And we're just about out of time, but I just want to say thank you for doing what you're doing. I just get amazed at how many people are out there who are doing wonderful things for the world, who are working on their own life, working on helping others. And I think that's one of the great things I've found also about the Metaphysical family, is that we can connect and find others and be inspired by others and learn from others while we're learning from ourselves. And I always love to think of how many thousands of people are out there doing work of love and light and making a difference in the world. And I certainly think you are, Regina. So I feel blessed to know you, and I always get just amazed at how much you're doing. And congratulations on going to the convention in May, which I believe is May 8th, and getting your new graduation, getting your new recognition going there. I'm sure you'll meet a lot of other wonderful friends there as well.
Oh, I always do. And thank you, Cindy, for inviting me to be on your show. And you're doing wonderful work in your own right. So thank you.
Thank you, and we'll be posting this as well. And God bless you, and until next time, big aloha.
All right. Aloha to you, Cindy.
Geico presents sharing versus oversharing. Way early this morning, Brad Higdon shared a major spoiler alert from everyone's favorite hit show, sad emojis to express his feelings about the plot twist, and a playlist he made to drown out his sorrows? Dude, oversharing alert. Brad, Geico has something worth sharing with those who haven't befriended you. Like how you could save hundreds on your car insurance at Geico.com. So stop moping about the post-apocalyptic world and start saving in the real world. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. 15% or more on car insurance. 15% or more on car insurance. 15% or more on car insurance.